As many of you know, we're living in Okinawa now, which is a great place. And today I thought I'd tell you a little bit about Okinawa, and we'll look at the AKIYA cheap house scene here, which basically there isn't one. And so we'll talk about that a bit, and we'll also talk about some of the things to do in Okinawa if you get here. At the end of the video, I will be making a big announcement. Okinawa is an island, way south of the mainland of Japan. It's actually pretty close to Taiwan, relatively. And it's been influenced by the Chinese and other cultures, more so than Japan up until about late 1800s, when Japan took over. And Okinawa saw some of the worst, well, probably the worst fighting in the Second World War, when the Americans invaded. It wiped out something like a third of the population. But the Okinawan people are absolutely lovely. They're a bit different from the mainland Japanese, probably a bit more friendly, still polite, a bit more laid back. Things tend to work on Okinawan time, which is kind of unusual for Japan, where everything has to be done on time. Here, it's much more easygoing. Anyway, let's get on. Before I talk about Okinawa, I just wanted to mention that not long ago I was invited by Anton, who is well known for his Anton in Japan YouTube videos. Come along and look at his new farmhouse that he bought in the Chiba prefecture. Really nice place, needed a lot of work. We did a volunteer day where we went along and decided to tear down a shed that was on the property, which took most of the day actually, but it was a great day out and we had a great time. But if you want to know anything about renovations of houses in Japan, then Anton's channel is really worth looking at, and that link is in the description box below.
Nah, I think we can demolish that one as well.
Okay. No problem.
Like, just imagine, like, if this one goes, and then you build something cool here overlooking the house. I think that's nicer. And like building a brand new shed is probably nicer, just 4 or 5 pillars, than this old shitty one, right?
No problem. Well, it's only really a shed. You've got the whole house there. Yeah. And this is what's left of our work today. We collapsed this container shed type thing. The house here at Anton's going to need a lot of work, but beautiful place and so much land around it. I mean, for Japan, this is pretty impressive. I'm here with Anton.
Konnichiwa, welcome to Chiba Farmhouse and Sean's channel. He's helping me out here, cleaning everything out, and we just demolished a shed over there. A lot of fun, a lot of passionate people here helping out in Chiba Farmhouse.
That was a work and a half, wasn't it?
It was
good fun. That
we've been here for about 3 hours now. It's been great. We're very lucky with the weather, and now we have some good hamburgers and barbecue.
I'm looking forward to it. And go watch Anton's channel. I'll put a link in the description box below.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for the day, Anton.
Thank you very much. A lot of fun.
Was too.
I was like, hey,
Here we have Antonio, a man of flames. this is flame grilled. Which is that US burger joint that does
Whopper.
the flame grilled?
I'm emulating a Whopper right now, flame grilled.
Nice job.
Thank you, brother.
Oh, I'll go with you. We have 45 minutes on the train. Out of his way. He's like, let's do that. Yeah, he's like,
This is pretty nice. Very traditional. Tatami mats and all.
The house is also only a 5-minute walk from the ocean, which is pretty handy.
This is great, Anton.
It's
fantastic,
$1,000.
What's that?
Who wants to make $1,000?
Doing what?
Skinny dip. Go for a dip.
But the weather was getting colder and it was time to make a move to Okinawa. My wife hates the cold, so we were heading for sunshine and beaches. Okinawa is like Japan's version of Hawaii. And because of that, the house prices in Okinawa are increasing all the time as mainlanders come here for holidays, buy rental properties or investment properties, or just retire here. The cities aren't beautiful, lots of concrete, but we came to love it here. We chose to live in Naha, the main city, which has these beautiful undercover markets that run off Kokusai-dori Street. It's a maze of shops and it's a bit like travelling around Venice, where you never know what you're going to find next. But to start off, we hired a car to travel around the island. It was a pretty good trip that we did over a 2-day period and visited mainly the northern part of the island. The road north follows the west coast, which is where the waves all are, because as you get around to the other side it's very calm. But our first stop was the Ryukyu Historical Village. The Okinawan people are actually the old Ryukyu kingdom, and they're a separate race to the Japanese people, even though nowadays they're considered Japanese. Before the Japanese took over in the 1800s, they were mainly connected to the Chinese, and so that's reflected in their traditions and their culture.
Here's our tour guide at Ryukumura. That's what I said, Ryukumura.
動画だったんですね。
ありがとうございます。
There were lots of examples of traditional Ryukyu architecture. Amongst many other exhibits, they have a butterfly compound as well. My daughter loves waterfalls, so we stopped at a lot of those along the way, and the place is full of them, so quite beautiful. Our first and only overnight stop was at Ojima village.
Way up in the hills in northern Okinawa, and right in the middle of the rainforest, and there's nothing much really around. We've got this lovely little wooden cabin that we stayed in overnight, and yeah, very pleasant stay. I'll show you the cabin.
Next stop was Cape Heddo, the most northern point, which was very windy, so we didn't stay very long. Coming down the east coast, you can see that the water was much calmer. And of course, being Japan, the food along the way was always great. Having completed our trip north, my daughter and I decided to head across to Tokashiki Island. It's an hour trip by ferry and $35 round trip. From the ferry terminal it was onto the bus and a short trip to Aharon Beach with glimpses of the ocean and beaches along the way. From the lookout on the hill near the beach, you get an incredible panoramic view. Aharon Beach must be one of the most beautiful beaches that I've seen, and I'm from Australia where we have lots of beautiful beaches. Aharon Beach was voted as one of the top 50 most beautiful beaches in the world. And we were there in winter, so there were hardly any people. But I believe in summer it gets quite busy. And of course we went for a swim, and there's lots of coral and fish to have a look at. For lunch it was taco rice, which is a very popular dish in Okinawa. You can also get spam sushi, which I haven't tried, but it's there if you want it. We spent a few enjoyable hours there, but it was time to head back. And now it was time to search for some AKIYA. You don't actually find a lot of AKIYA in Okinawa. Perhaps many of them were destroyed during the war. You sometimes get these clusters of AKIYA, which are kind of indicated by these traditional roofs. There's a few more. Well, there's one there at least. And those darker roof ones in between. The trouble is knowing whether they are actually AKIYA that are available for sale, whether they're really actually abandoned. Most of them here in Okinawa aren't. They're usually occupied. And that might have something to do with this being the poorest province or the poorest prefecture in Japan. People tend to stay where they are because of the high prices. Some of the AKIYA have been turned into high-priced restaurants. Like this one here, or sometimes cafes. This one I believe is a cafe. But some of them have been refurbished and don't look too bad. But others are just a bit of a mess and falling down in very bad shape. But most of them are actually lived in. They're not abandoned at all. And I think that's because people aren't that wealthy here and they have to live somewhere. Some have been done up and not too bad. But generally, the AKIYA selection here is, well, you don't actually have a selection because there are none really for sale. If you look at all of the various AKIYA real estate sites, you'll find that there are no places available or no AKIYA available in Okinawa. And that's because, well, people are still living in them. No one wants to get rid of them. But in the rare occasion when someone does want to sell one, they are at astronomical prices compared to the AKIYA you find in other places in Japan. As you can see here on AKIYA Mart, there are houses available. They're quite expensive for Japan, but probably cheaper than a lot of places in the West. Again though, some of these places are very expensive compared to the West. And there was one AKIYA that I actually found on AKIYA Mart, and that's this one you can see here. $192,000. And when you think that you can buy places in Japan that are in as good condition, well, it's not very good condition, but in better condition than this, or same condition as this, for $10,000, $20,000, then Okinawa is not really a great bet. You can see how much work's going to be needed to fix this place up. So really, it's not a cheap place for AKIYA at all, even if you can find them. On another note, Naha, the city we live in, has a really cool monorail system that gets you around the town. And the places where the monorail doesn't go, it's taken over by buses. And the buses are always late. The monorail's on time though.
The buses have this kind of archaic system where you take a ticket from a machine on the bus when you get on. And one of the reasons that the buses are always late is because people have to have the exact change when they get off the bus. And so tourists or elderly people, tourists that don't know what they're doing, elderly people that have to fumble around for a change, they get to the driver and they have to sort out the cash. And so if you add this up over every stop, usually the buses can be anything from 10 minutes to half an hour late, which gets a bit painful after a while. But it's kind of cute and I don't really mind too much. But they could have a much more refined system, I think. And when you get off the bus, you take your ticket and you change and you put it in this machine to count it and you get off the bus. And though Okinawa is more laid back, there's still bureaucracy. We're just about to enter Naha City Hall to do the processing of my registration card and all that kind of thing after I got my visa approved. Woohoo! So now we're about to become real Okinawan people with a registered address in Okinawa and all that. So see how we go. This could take a long time. Well, that wasn't too traumatic. My wife did all the work, which was good. And now we've got to go away and come back in 2 hours and the National Health Scheme paperwork will be done. And yeah, so it wasn't too bad at all. It's all good. We are now officially Okinawan boy
And Okinawa girl.
The paperwork has been done and just waiting on the national health thing at the moment. But yep, we're in. So my visa's for a year this time around and then we'll apply for another one and see what happens. All good. We're here today at the Okinawan Curry Festival in Naha. Okinawa has lots of regular festivals and this is just one of them. That's an awful lot of curry options and Japanese curry is just the best. So from the point of view of finding an AKIYA, Okinawa is really not the best place to go. There are better options all over Japan, on the main islands, out in the countryside, but we like it here in Okinawa and the rent is very cheap. I mean, it's only costing us $600 a month for a decent apartment here in Okinawa. Our living costs are low. Probably only, as an individual, you probably only spend about $1,000 a month, if that. So as a place to live, I recommend Okinawa. The weather's good, the people are nice. It's not very expensive to live here. But from the point of view of buying an AKIYA, then I wouldn't put it on your list because the prices are just too crazy. You'd be better off looking elsewhere. Now, having said that, the big news is I bought a house. Yes, not in Okinawa. I bought a house in Hokkaido, which is the northern island of Japan. So I'm not going to go into it now because it still hasn't settled, but it looks like it's all going to be fine. And once that happens, I will let you know, probably in the next video or the video after that, as I'll be going up in May to actually visit the house because I bought it, well, not sight unseen exactly, but I've had a building inspection done and had other people look at it and seen photos and videos and all that kind of thing. So I'll tell you about that. Maybe next video, maybe the one after, but it's all progressing well. And if I can do it, you can do it. See you in the next video. Bye.
たくさん信